I want to talk about Jackson Browne. I'm going to try and not be negative. It's a very negative time. We might all be dying of the rat virus, and gas is $10. It's $10 where Jackson Browne lives. So we got this kind of pretty surfer boy in 1970, which I guess is like our golden era now, right? Are the 60s and 70s going to be like the golden era of art or something? I mean, things haven't really innovated in 30 years, right? I don't know. Anyways, what was the last innovation in music? Skrillex, hyperpop. Does anyone really listen to hyperpop? Anyway, I sound like I have ADHD, but I don't. I'm just trying to set up... I'm trying to understand, actually. I'm trying to set up this argument and also understand where things are. Hyper pop, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's... I don't understand it, to be quite honest. I guess it's funny, like... I don't know. I just can't tell if it's just me being kids these days. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's the kids. I don't know what it's like to be a kid these days. I mean, every generation after 1960 just more and more like psychologically damaged? Is that where we're at? I don't know. Anyway, someone who wasn't trying to psychologically damage people was Jackson Browne. And I don't like talking about people, and I don't want to suck up to people either. I'm not trying to say, and I'm not trying to cope. You know, like I didn't make it as an artist. I don't like critics, all right? I'm not trying to be a critic. I'm just trying to dispense my knowledge, okay? Think of me more as a elder statesman, okay? That's what we have now. We have elder statesmen. We have Bernie. We have Tucker, right? We have Obama on his podcasts. Everyone's an elder statesman. We're trying to be like Ben Franklin here. Well, I'm the Ben Franklin of pop music, okay? So I'm the Ben Franklin of pop music. And I read Bruce Springsteen's biopic. You know, I've listened to all the popular Dylan Springsteen songs. And I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're bad. It's just Jackson Browne is an interesting figure as a counterpoint to those, in my opinion, hotheads. Springsteen far more so than Dylan. I mean, Dylan seems to not relish attention as much or sort of political power. Yeah, the newest iterations of Springsteen are deeply disturbing and disgusting. But, yeah, and, you know, I get it. Like, I don't know. In his opinion, I mean, has this Trump thing been... I understand being disturbed by watching the country fall into Trumpism. I get it if you're that age. But the hypocrisy is just like... I don't know. I mean, at some point when you're worth almost $1 billion and you're just like a performer who's like done some cool writing with a band, it's like, really? Like, you really think that people will still like you? You know, it's just weird. And if I were these people, I'd do public works. Like, that's what I don't get. Like, I don't know. I just think you think Andrew Carnegie, you think John D. Rockefeller. I mean, those are awful people. J.P. Morgan Chase. J.P. Morgan and the other guy was Chase. But, yeah, I mean, you'd think they'd do more to actually directly help the people besides being involved in the media. I'm just saying, okay, so take, for example, Kanye West. I know Kanye West is not a perfect person, but I do think he cared enough to help young people. As in, Kid Cudi would not have a career without Kanye West. That was one of the better things about rap, is that at least it was about helping. It was hyper-competitive, but collaboration was in vogue with rappers. And Kanye especially, he helped Bon Iver. He helped Justin Vernon. There's tons of people. Kid Cudi would not have a career without Yeezus. So I'm just saying, those direct helps to the music industry. And Kid Cudi is amazing. Like, he's a great or he was. I don't listen to anything he does anymore, but yeah, I mean, he was really, really good when he came out. So without Kanye, though, you don't get anything. You don't get any of that. And I don't see these Springsteens and these Dylans. I'll talk about what I know. I know Dan Byrne. Okay, Dan Byrne is a songwriter. He's obscure, but he's a acquaintance of mine, I guess. I don't know. He's an interesting guy, but he's a songwriter who's been around for 50 years. And I'll just use him as an example. I'm not going to pretend I'm friends with Dan Byrne, but he is an approachable guy he's a pretty good songwriter. And he wrote about Dylan, okay? He writes about Dylan. Dylan insults him in an email or something, a letter, and says, "You're a loser, don't talk to me," basically. And even worse than that, he insults the guy. And I think he wrote a song about his mother or something, and it was like, oh, I don't know, it's some story he tells. Anyway, it doesn't seem like he liked him too much. Doesn't want to help him out. I know he performed with Jackson Browne. There's a video or a picture somewhere of this unknown songwriter performing with Jackson Browne. So, just kind of an example there. And I don't know, it just seems like Jackson Browne as a person seems like a better person. Very quiet. And I don't think being quiet... someone who constantly wants to be involved in public life is not someone I trust. I'm involved in public life because I'm desperate, to be quite honest. I wouldn't want to be involved in public life if I was some guy who's knew 5 producers and I could go write behind the scenes in a TV writing room. I would be doing that, but I can't do that. But, someone who purposely wants to always be in public life, I don't know. And Jackson Browne does do considerable amount of real activism for... I think he was involved in Palestine before all this started a couple years ago. Yeah, he has a song about it, I think, but he's a big environmentalist, and he just seems like a decent dude who hasn't been chasing things. But specifically, those early songs by him, there is a more subdued feeling, West Coast feeling. But The Pretender and For Every Man are 2 songs I want to talk about because I don't know. I mean, I don't think... I've never heard songs that are so politically, socially, whatever, actually have real depth, but also are just good musically as well. I mean, you don't get the ugly voice with him either. There's no ugly voice with Jackson Browne. He's actually a good singer. He can hit the notes and they sound pure. So he's not just, manipulating a vibe. Because that's when it all started, right? I mean, Sam Cooke is an incredible singer. Sinatra is a good singer. It used to be you had to sing well, and the songs had to be good. And it started the media manipulations when the singers just got bad, and they were like, oh, actually, it's about the songwriting. It's like, really? I know I can think about the song, and it's cool, but, if Bruce Springsteen's songs were sang by Jackson Browne, they'd be really, really good songs, right? And the Beatles were good singers, too. That makes them better, And it's just it was a selfish thing to say, I'm the writer, I should sing, too. Which was fine, it was okay. But, Jackson Browne is both. And I think as that continued, where the ego became paramount and the sort of music became secondary, it became it just snowballed after that, where, okay, singers don't have to be good anymore. Okay, musicians don't have to be good anymore. Let's just play power chords. Okay, now we don't even need musicians anymore. You don't actually have to do that. Oh, and then it was the theory thing. It was you shouldn't know theory. It's the songs that the jazz singers were composing with minor fifths, 7 chords, that kind of stuff, flat key changes, inserting flats into a melody, into a key, dead notes, that kind of thing. Just stuff that is not... You have to kind of learn, right? And, listen to Summertime or something, and then go listen to, Blink-182. It's and a key change, I think, hasn't been used in music in 50 years now. It's pretty sad. And yeah, I mean, it just keeps devolving. And I think Springsteen and Dylan being such atrocious vocalists kind of contributed to that. So Jackson Browne is a good vocalist. And again, I'm not trying to say this man is God. I'm just saying comparing artists in that same era that did things differently is an interesting exercise in really seeing what changed with those guys. So Jackson Browne, if he had been a famous singer, that's what we would have gotten. And he was kind of famous. I mean, he's never as famous as those two, though, at all. His current net worth is $50 million, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty low. I mean, he's a successful, rich singer, right? But that is a fifth, not a fifth, 5%, actually, of Bruce Springsteen's net worth, which is $1 billion. $1 billion, which is just like, it's just like a fraud estimate too. It's just like it all backs on the dollar, not the dollar, on the speculative people on Wall Street. They actually trade song catalogs. It's literally like a crappy painting that just gets traded around. I mean, it might not actually be worth $1 billion in 10 years, because who's going to want to listen to Bruce Springsteen once the boomers die? Genuinely. I mean, I don't know any young people who actually enjoy listening to him. Maybe a few songs, but yeah, he is part of the inflation economy. And someone on Wall Street said, "Oh, Bruce, here's a big check. We'll trade this around. Here you go, buddy." And now they're like leveraging his catalog to buy out farms in North Dakota or something. That's where we're at. So, yeah, but Jackson Browne is a financial saint, a Christ figure compared to these two. I don't know what Bob Dylan's net worth is. Yeah, I mean, he probably deserves money more than Bruce, but yeah. Anyway, both very rich guys. And Jackson Browne, that's not as rich, you know, just kind of another L.A. fits in the crowd type with that income. You can't even buy a house in L.A. with that. Oh, God, it's so expensive. Oh, my God, it's so expensive. Yeah, I've heard it a million times. I mean, realistically, yeah, he could buy a house in L.A., right? But yeah, I mean, it's apples and oranges compared to this. Anyway, I don't want to talk about money right now. So, yeah, our guy wrote The Pretender, which is I'm going to find myself a house in the shade of the freeway. I'm going to pack my lunch in the morning and go to work each day. And it was the way he was saying it, it felt like less of an act than something like Born to Run or, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the lyrics here. The Pretender. Yeah, it's I'm gonna be a happy idiot and struggle for the legal tender. I don't think many artists actually struck the heart of capital that much. I don't think Springsteen's ever said. It's always just kind of vague, like I'm gonna you know, get out of this town. That's what the problem is. It's my town. You know, it wasn't very class aware or whatever. He knows that all his hopes and dreams begin and end there. Tear at the world with all their might. All the ships. Yeah, it's just really, really good. I mean, that's what I mean. I don't like analyzing. I could never be a music writer. It's so stupid. A lot of it's just better left unsaid with this stuff, where I don't want to, you know, sit around, oh, that's a good line because, you know, I listen to The Pretender, okay? It's just way deeper. Yeah, I caught between the longing for love and the struggle for the legal tender. It's honestly more accurate, too, as to the reality of life, where the veterans dream of the fight, fast asleep at the traffic light. It's just an incredible song. It's probably top 10 best songs, honestly. But the other one is For Every Man, which is actually not a very popular song. It's pretty unknown. Yeah, I mean, these are like sadder type songs too. Like it wasn't very high energy, but it was just better. I don't know, than Born to Run and all that. Because I don't know, I used to listen to Born to Run, and I was like, all right. Like when you're young, it's like, okay, cool, yeah. And then it's like, wow, this is impressive, but it's like I don't really relate to it, you know, because it's not very timeless in my opinion. Everybody talked to is ready to leave the light of the morning. They've seen the end coming down long enough to believe they've heard the last warning. Standing alone, each has his own ticket in his hand. I sit thinking about every man. Seems like I've always been looking for some other place to get it together. Where I give up the race with my friends and find... It was almost too smart, is the thing. Like, it wasn't as bombastic as, like, the stupid saxophone. See, I try not to be negative, but I don't know. I am very bitter on the topic of Bruce Springsteen. And I think I should be. He should sell his catalog for charity and downsize, right? Like... I don't think you deserve that, dude. And look at his ticket price. And it's just the constant being like, you know, the neoliberal thing. Like, I'm a liberal. I care about trans rights. And it's like, dude, that's not the issue right now. Like, that is not... I don't know. He creeps me out. These people creep me out, genuinely. I'm very creeped out by a lot of people these days. I'm not very creeped out by Jackson Browne. That's why I'm trying to get into this. And Jackson Browne probably hate me for saying this, too. That's why I'm conscious of, like, I'm not sucking up to him. I'm trying to just do an analysis. I mean, I don't think this guy hates Bruce Springsteen, but that's what I mean. In hip-hop, it's such a toxic thing where Jay-Z's going to shoot Kanye today, and then, like, rock people who used to be tough, right? And that's the thing, is I don't think Jackson Browne ever pretended to be a tough guy, which was kind of good about him, too, where, like, Bruce Springsteen, I'm a tough guy. I got my motorcycle. And it's like, shut up. It's so gross. Like, it's so gross at this point. Iggy Pop with his shirt off at 80. And it's like, who do they think they are? Like look at, like, how people... You know, someone told me my grandpa used to go to church every day. And he was a veteran of World War II. He was on Normandy. And he used to go to his little Catholic church every single day till he was, like, 70. And it's like, I don't want to see an old man with his shirt off at Coachella, you know? And Anthony Kiedis, I can't stand it. So Jackson Browne never really did that kind of outlandish. It was very craftsman-like. And, yeah, I never tried to be a tough guy. So, anyway, but yeah, I can't take it seriously. I mean, I think this has aged better, is my opinion. Make it on your own if you think you can take a stand. It's deep stuff. So, yeah, this is about Every Man. It's literally just called Every Man. Those are two really good songs. These Days is a good song. Yeah. Yeah, These Days, another one to check out. It's a good thing to get into. Yeah, I would get into Jackson Browne if you want to get into 70s music, because I'm also making this because I feel like people just forget him, you know, and he might hate me, be like, oh, that guy's an a-hole, he'll probably never hear this, but, you know, and if he does, that's fine. I'm just being objective. Okay, he can hate me. It's sort of the music for me, you know. I think it's good music. It should be heard. So that's why I'm saying this. And I think you should just check it out. Yeah, I mean, just objectively, as a fan of music, check it out. And I think there's a risk that all this music will be forgotten in the next 50 years. And more bombastic people with stupid movies. Oh, I have to do it, you know, that movie. Like, who is seeing a Bruce Springsteen movie? And I like the karma, actually. I think it flopped. I don't even know. Like, oh, I don't care anymore. I mean, they're probably buddies. And that's why I don't want to pretend that I'm actually sucking up to any of these people, because you ever see the corpse of Frankie Valli out on stage too? That's sad and funny. That's like the other extreme of this, of like a silent gen 80-90-year-old. They trot out Frankie Valli. No, it flopped. It was not very good. It didn't even make back its budget. Yeah, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Who the hell saw that, you know? Thank God. I mean, that's karma. Like, the Dylan movie, I don't think Dylan really pushed for. I could see Springsteen being like, I want a movie, you know? But yeah, Dylan, his movie did well. But yeah, Springsteen's flopped. Haha. What was the Dylan gross? See, and maybe I should just honor Jackson Browne, but it doesn't exist in a vacuum, you know? It doesn't exist in a vacuum. So I wanted to just bring some attention to a relatively unknown writer these days. Yeah, the Dylan movie made 3 times as much money. Wow, on the same budget. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. And Bob Dylan is a more quiet person. That's kind of what I mean about the karma about that. But yeah, anyway, it's a good film, I guess. I don't know. I never saw it. I'm not going to watch it. But yeah, I would check out Jackson Browne's music if you're a sensitive adolescent, if you're a sensitive person. I don't know if anyone has a soul anymore. I think the soul's gone. If you're a religious person, right? You have feelings still. Check out Jackson Browne. Okay. Thank you, guys.